All right, hey everyone, Jeff here. Stop the Pirates, stopblogspot.com. I'm out here doggedly pursuing remedy for everybody, but I want everybody to know that any kind of account or anything that any kind of commercial business you do using your all caps name and your social security number is prepaid, and there's no money to pay it anyway. Okay, these are debt notes. So how can you pay a debt with a debt? You can't. You're just passing it on. It's a promise to pay. Promise to pay what? Promise to pay. Promise to pay. Debt collector response letters. Now, what's going to happen is, say you go to the hospital, for example, and you get a procedure done or whatever, emergency, whatever, your kid or whatever, and they send you a statement. It's not a bill. They're not billing you. They're just sending you a statement. They just want your acceptance of it and your signature, and for you to handle it, because you're the money man. I mean, you're the payroll clerk. You're the one who handles all the bills for the bankrupt corporation. You're the accountant. So what they'll do is they'll send you the statement, and you can do an accepted for value on it and send it back, send it to the proper people that are doing the accounting for the bankruptcy for the foreign corporation that we're the administrator of, which is the Internal Revenue Service, and just handle it that way. But what's going to happen is they're going to do what's called a write-off when they don't get their secondary payment, because they're double dipping. It's already prepaid. So they'll try and trick you into an adhesion contract situation where you feel that you actually owe this money, or these Federal Reserve notes, these debt notes, but you don't. So, and then what they'll do eventually is they'll send it to collections, okay, which proves to you right there that there's no money to pay anything. They write it off. And what does that mean? I mean, it's prepaid, so the IRS lets them write it off. So you get a debt collector letter in the mail. They're usually like computer generated, unsigned. We put together some debt collector response letters that you can send out when you receive these. And the first one here is a notice of civil dispute, and it goes something like this: I am in receipt of your computer generated unsigned presentment, and then the date. And if it is signed, assign an address letter to the signer. So someone has to take responsibility. You can't, a dead entity, a corporation can't send you something. You see what I'm saying? Because your all caps strawman name is a corporation, and they're a corporation, and you're in the middle going, okay, my corporation needed some repairs or whatever, and then we're going to handle it this way. So anyway, we're in receipt of your letter. You are erroneously claiming civil dispute between us, and there is none to my knowledge. There must be a contract between us. Contract law supersedes all federal and state rules, regulations, and statutes. If you are the fiduciary in this matter, I need a copy of the contract between us to continue further communication. I do not give permission or consent by assent for you to enter as a third party to this alleged civil dispute, nor to issue letters of threat in my private property or person, including you reporting to various credit reporting entities. What was I going to say here? Anytime a collection company or attorney gets a hold of it, they buy this debt for pennies on the dollar and try and collect on it. See, there's no contract between you and them, so the whole thing is erroneous. And it goes on here: my house is private, my telephone and email are private, my person is private, and for private use by myself and by those with whom I may contract. Keep in mind your name is your most valuable, and your signature is your most valuable property. And people can't just use it erroneously out there and try and collect on it, because they're trespassing. It's a tort. It's a civil dispute. If you are attempting to enter this alleged civil dispute without contract or my permission, you are in trespass. I'm not a corporation. Produce a contract, delegation of authority, regulatory authority, or cease and desist, unless you are a secured party, holder in due course, creditor, debtor, or signer on the original contract, which nobody is, let's face it. You are a third party. You are a liability and no assistance. Take notice, you are lawfully and legally dismissed. I will not discuss my private affairs with an unqualified third party. In your next correspondence, please forward the instrument that has established my obligation to perform as you request, plus your ID, your social security number, and delegation of authority, to wit, UCC 3-501B2. Otherwise, you will be accepting my offer to provide pen pal services at $1,000 per correspondence. If you accept my offer to provide this service, simply send any correspondence other than what I've requested. You basically tell them you're going to charge them for using your information. I'll leave a link to this debt collector response letter down below if you want to check it out. Go to stopthepirates.blogspot.com. Thanks.